5,000 years ago, when the world was still young and human civilization was only beginning to take shape, something extraordinary rose from the sands of Egypt. Long before skyscrapers, before machines, before modern science, human hands lifted massive stones and shaped them into monuments that would defy time itself. These were the pyramids of Egypt. Built around 4,500 to 5,000 years ago, they were not created for comfort, not for beauty, and not for the living. They were built for eternity. Even today, as the desert winds continue to blow and centuries pass like grains of sand, the pyramids still stand, silent and unbroken, challenging the modern world to explain how and why they were built. To understand the pyramids, we must travel back to ancient Egypt, to a time when the Nile River controlled life itself. Every year, its floods brought fertile soil, food, and stability, allowing one of the world's greatest civilizations to flourish. Egypt became rich, organized, and powerful, ruled by kings known as pharaohs. These rulers were not seen as ordinary men. Egyptians believed the pharaoh was a living god on earth, chosen by the heavens to maintain balance and order in the universe. Obeying the pharaoh was not just law, it was faith. Life was temporary, but the soul was eternal, and death was only a doorway to another world. Here is the first great truth about the pyramids. They were built because the Egyptians believed death was not the end. The afterlife was just as real as life itself. For the soul to survive forever, the body had to be protected, preserved, and honored. This belief gave birth to mummification, sacred rituals, and finally, monumental tombs. Early rulers were buried in flat, rectangular structures called mastabas, simple but symbolic. Yet as pharaohs grew more powerful, these tombs were no longer enough. A god-king required something greater, something that reached toward the sky. Around 2630 BCE, during the reign of Pharaoh Djoser, a revolutionary idea changed history. Instead of building outward, his architect Imhotep built upward. Stone layers were stacked one above another, forming the first step pyramid at Saqqara. This was the first large stone monument ever built by humans. It was not just architecture, it was a message. The pyramid shape symbolized a staircase to the heavens, allowing the pharaoh's soul to rise and join the gods. From this moment on, the race for eternity began. Over the next generations, Egyptian engineers experimented, failed, learned, and improved. They refined angles, strengthened foundations, and perfected stone cutting. Then, around 2600 BCE, during Egypt's Old Kingdom, the greatest achievement of all began on the Giza Plateau. 3 massive pyramids were built for pharaohs Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. The largest, the Great Pyramid of Khufu, became the tallest man-made structure on Earth, a title it held for nearly 4,000 years. It was built with over 2 million stone blocks, some weighing more than 15 tons. Even today, its precision is astonishing. Its sides align almost perfectly with the cardinal directions of the Earth, a level of accuracy that still surprises modern engineers. Here comes another powerful truth. The pyramids were not built by slaves. Archaeological evidence tells a different story. The builders were skilled Egyptian workers, including farmers, craftsmen, and engineers. During the Nile's annual floods, when farming paused, workers were organized into teams and brought to construction sites. They lived in nearby villages, received food, medical care, and wages, and were respected for serving the pharaoh. Stones were transported on wooden sleds, pulled across wet sand to reduce friction. Carefully designed ramps allowed the blocks to be raised layer by layer. This was not chaos. It was one of the earliest examples of large-scale planning, mathematics, and engineering in human history. But the pyramids were never meant to be empty stone giants. Inside them were chambers, passageways, and symbolic designs connected deeply to Egyptian religion. The Egyptians believed the soul had multiple parts, including the Ka, the Ba, and the Ak. Each part needed protection and guidance after death. The pyramid acted like a sacred machine, helping the pharaoh's soul rise to the heavens. Many pyramids were aligned with specific stars, especially those associated with Osiris, the god of the afterlife. As long as the pyramid stood, the pharaoh's soul would live forever among the gods. This belief explains why no effort was spared. The pyramids were covered in smooth, white limestone that reflected sunlight, making them shine like mountains of light. Temples, causeways, and statues surrounded them, including the Great Sphinx, guarding the sacred land. The pyramids were not just tombs. They were eternal statements of power, faith, and cosmic order. Eventually, after around 2300 BCE, Egypt changed. Economic pressure increased, political power weakened, and building pyramids became too costly. Later pharaohs chose hidden tombs carved deep into rock, such as those in the Valley of the Kings. Pyramid building slowly ended, but their legacy did not. Even robbed, damaged, and weathered by time, the pyramids refused to fall. Today, 5,000 years later, they still stand. Empires have collapsed. Religions have changed. Entire civilizations have disappeared. Yet the pyramids remain, reminding us that ancient humans were capable of vision, discipline, and greatness. They were built by belief, shaped by intelligence, and protected by time itself. As the sun sets over the desert and shadows stretch across the sand, the pyramids whisper a final message to the modern world. Humanity has always dreamed of eternity, and sometimes those dreams are carved in stone.
In the heart of the Egyptian desert, where sand whispers tales of forgotten time, a new day breaks. As the sun ascends, its golden rays unveil silhouettes against the horizon. Not mountains, but monuments. The Great Pyramids of Giza, ancient sentinels rising from the dust, their triangular forms a testament to human ambition. For nearly 5 millennia, they have stood here, a marvel of engineering and a mystery that continues to captivate the world. How did a civilization thousands of years ago create structures of such breathtaking scale and precision? Join us as we journey back in time to unravel the story of the pyramids. A story etched in stone and sand, long before the pyramids pierced the sky. Life in ancient Egypt flowed with the rhythm of the Nile. This mighty river, a ribbon of life through the arid landscape, was the civilization's heart and soul. Its annual floods deposited rich, black silt upon the riverbanks, creating fertile land for farming. Villages bustled with activity. Farmers tended their crops, fishermen cast their nets, and merchants guided their reed boats along the gentle currents, trading goods from one end of the kingdom to the other. This predictable cycle of flood and harvest provided the stability and surplus necessary for a great civilization to flourish, allowing them to look beyond mere survival and dream of eternity. The Nile gave them life, and in return, they honored it, building a society that would last for thousands of years. At the apex of this structured society was a figure considered more than human, a god on earth. The pharaoh. From the opulent balconies of grand palaces, the ruler would appear before the people, an intermediary between the heavens and the mortal world. Their authority was absolute, their word, law. The Egyptians believed the pharaoh's well-being was directly linked to the prosperity of the entire kingdom. This profound belief shaped their view of the afterlife. It was not an end, but a transition to an eternal journey, to ensure the pharaoh's successful passage and continued divine protection over the land. A resting place worthy of a god was required, a tomb that would safeguard their body and spirit for all time. The journey to the afterlife was a sacred and intricate process to preserve the physical form for the soul, or Ka. The Egyptians developed the sophisticated art of mummification. This was not a grim task, but a holy ritual, performed by skilled priests in dedicated workshops. They would carefully remove the internal organs, preserving them in canopic jars, each guarded by a specific deity. The body was then dehydrated using natron salt, a process that could take over a month. Finally, it was cleansed, anointed with oils, and meticulously wrapped in hundreds of yards of linen bandages, with protective amulets tucked within the folds. This sacred preparation ensured the pharaoh's body would remain intact, ready to be reunited with its spirit in the eternal kingdom of the gods. The architectural journey to the Great Pyramids began not with a smooth, triangular shape, but with a series of steps reaching for the heavens. At Saqqara, under the brilliant desert sun, the first monumental stone building in history was conceived. The Step Pyramid of Giza, designed by the legendary architect Imhotep, it represented a revolutionary leap in construction. This was no simple mastaba, or flat-top tomb. It was a stairway to the sky, a visible symbol of the king's ascent to the divine realm. Thousands of workers, organized into efficient teams, quarried and transported the limestone blocks. Architects and overseers directed the project with remarkable precision, laying the foundation for the even grander structures that were to come. The Step Pyramid was the prototype, the grand experiment that proved such colossal undertakings were possible. From the innovations at Saqqara, the age of the Great Pyramids was born. On the Giza Plateau, an unparalleled construction project began, culminating in the three iconic pyramids we know today. The largest, the Great Pyramid of Khufu, stands as the sole survivor of the seven wonders of the ancient world. For over 3,800 years, it was the tallest man-made structure on Earth. Flanked by the pyramids of Kafir and Menkaure, this necropolis is a breathtaking display of power and devotion. The sheer scale is almost incomprehensible. Millions of stone blocks, some weighing several tons, were arranged with an accuracy that continues to baffle engineers. To stand before them is to feel the immense weight of history and the incredible capacity of human ingenuity. The construction of these monuments was a colossal national project, a triumph of human organization and brute strength. It wasn't slaves who built the pyramids, as once popularly believed, but a dedicated workforce of skilled Egyptian laborers. From quarries sometimes hundreds of miles away, massive blocks of limestone and granite were hewn from the earth. Teams of workers, their muscles straining, hauled these stones on large wooden sleds. To reduce friction, they likely poured water on the sand in front of the sleds. A simple but ingenious technique. They worked in seasonal shifts, many of them farmers during the Nile's inundation when the fields were flooded. They were housed in nearby purpose-built cities, provided with food, water, and medical care. Theirs was a labor of faith, building a monument for their god-king, and, in doing so, securing their own place in the cosmic order. Venturing inside a pyramid is like entering another world. The cool, silent darkness is a stark contrast to the blazing desert sun outside. Following narrow, descending passages, lit only by the flickering flame of a torch, one can feel the immense pressure of millions of tons of stone overhead. These corridors were designed not for the living, but to guide the Pharaoh's spirit and protect their tomb from intruders. They lead to a series of chambers, culminating in the king's burial chamber, deep within the pyramid's core. Here, the sarcophagus, carved from a single block of granite, would hold the pharaoh's mortal remains. The walls were sometimes inscribed with sacred texts, spells from the Book of the Dead, to aid the king on his perilous journey through the underworld and ensure his successful rebirth in the afterlife. As the dynasties rose and fell, the pyramids remained. They have witnessed the passing of millennia, the rise of new empires, and the birth of new religions. A time-lapse of their existence would show the desert sands creeping up their sides, the smooth casing stones being stripped away for new construction, and the surrounding cities turning to dust. They have endured scorching sun, whipping winds, and the endless march of time. Once the gleaming white centers of a vibrant civilization, they slowly became silent, solitary monuments, their original purpose shrouded in the mists of history. Yet, even as they aged, their power did not diminish. They transformed from royal tombs into timeless symbols of a lost world, their weathered faces holding secrets we are still trying to unlock. As twilight descends upon the Giza Plateau, the sky ignites in hues of orange and purple. The pyramids, silhouetted against the setting sun, reclaim their ancient majesty. They are a bridge between our world and the world of the Pharaohs, a final, magnificent gesture of a civilization that dared to build for eternity. As the last sliver of sun disappears, the first stars begin to glitter in the darkening sky, the same stars that guided the pyramid builders thousands of years ago. From the ground, they seem to touch the heavens. From above, as we pull away, they become part of a celestial map on the desert floor, forever linking the earth below with the cosmos above. Their story is not over. It is written in stone, waiting for the next generation to read. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories from our incredible history.